Hey, coming up right now, the state of Florida takes on an alligator census every year. Wait until you hear just how many gators have been counted.
Also coming up, a 71-year-old is arrested for stealing a rare and expensive collection of bricks.
A little bit later on, you're not going to believe one man's daily diet he follows to help boost up his testosterone.
The Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We kick off this week with you. We're so glad to have you here. We'll also be checking in with Matt Doolittle here,
Hi,
who
Matty.
is constantly in his doing his domestic duties, right?
Yes,
Husband?
well, we're kind of formally moved in together now, and
I would hope so. You're married.
I color coordinated my closet yesterday.
I've done that for years, and it's very helpful.
nice.
It actually
Yeah.
felt like a Zen moment for me. I mean, my shoes have always been categorized. They're in order, date, time, shoe color, all that stuff. Jordans, Nikes, Shaqs, pennies. Now all the shirts are in the same color. The polos are over here. The long shirts are there.
See, now as you do that, you appreciate Garanimals when you're a kid. Remember those?
Totally remember
Garanimals,
yes.
which it made finding your clothes matching
And
much
wasn't
easier.
there a husky version for the
Oh, yeah.
bigger kids?
Yes, I grew up thinking I wore size husky.
Same. I was husky till high school.
Yeah, I thought, what size do you wear? I go,
I was a little fat kid with a mullet. I mean, come on.
I always thought I was size husky, and because they would say what size, I go
Sure.
husky, but I didn't know there was like an actual number for it.
Matt, did it bring you joy, as Marie
It
Kondo would
was-
ask?
It's a calming effect. I mean, granted,
It
half my
is,
closet
right?
is black polos, but still, it was like, oh, now I know where all those are together. I don't
Yes.
have to
There
sit
you
there
go.
and sort through. And because the shoes have always been fine. It's just-
Well, of course.
My wife goes, "Can you fix this up now?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right." So I spent a couple hours last night doing that.
Good work, now that you're a new husband.
Yes.
Have you heard about this new Hallmark movie they're getting ready to make?
Oh, I'm waiting to hear about that. What is it?
Yeah, I think it's inspired by Travis. And,
Oh, is it a football player meets
Taylor
a singer
Swift.
in a small town
yes.
and they fall in
Okay.
love with cookies?
Hallmark Channel teaming up with the NFL and Skydance Sports for a holiday movie, Holiday Touchdown.
Oh, geez.
A Chiefs love story.
That's exactly what it
And
is.
they're going to be shooting it at Arrowhead Stadium.
Which, by the way, might not be the home of the Chiefs anymore. If across the river and moving them out of Missouri, get into Kansas, they tried to get past the bill to get a new stadium, and they go, we don't want to pay for it in Missouri, and so they go,
Really?
hey, we'll pay for it. So maybe that might be the last movie shot at the Arrowhead
Okay.
Stadium. Who knows?
Yeah, so we'll see. But they're saying, obviously, I think it's inspired
It's
by
got to be.
Travis and Taylor.
Well,
no
that I
question.
mean, they have to. It has. If
Yeah.
it's not, they're idiots. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's.
Wait.
that's
Here's the
exactly what
premise.
it is.
She's an aspiring singer who came back to town to see her high school boyfriend, made it to the team, and they
Yes.
meet at an awkward coffee shop, and they
Uh-huh.
get together, and they go home, and mom's got cookies ready to
You
go.
forgot
and
one essential part. They hate each other. at
They hate
first.
each other. They were.
Yes.
She was the nerd in school, and he was the jock.
jock,
and
exactly. You
she
got
blows
it.
a tire or something on the road, and he fixes it, and everything's great at the end.
Somehow Matt's been in this movie.
I have watched too many of those.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. And now, if it was a Lifetime movie, the person playing Travis would actually have another different family altogether.
Yes.
And
And
they're
be a
being
serial
murdered.
killer.
And a serial killer.
Murder
So
by
keep that in
singer.
mind. Right, exactly. Let's start off in the Sunshine State, where conventional wisdom there suggests that anytime you see a body of water in Florida, there's usually a gator in it.
Yep.
It's not too far from the truth. Every year, officials at the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, they take an alligator census of 100 bodies of water all across the peninsula. And the census is basically an estimate. You can imagine counting alligators, not an easy task. Lake Okeechobee, that's that big lake you always see in Florida. That's Florida's largest lake. Also has the most gators in it, more than 24,000 calling home. FWC also estimates that there are more than 1 million alligators living throughout Florida. And I know that there's a lake just nearby, just right up the road here, is the most infested lake
Jessup.
of
Lake
gators.
Jessup.
Yeah, and a lot of other lakes lead into it, as you'll find
Yeah.
here in Central Florida. It's something, you grow up in Florida, you just know there's gators there
Yes.
everywhere. It's like, okay, there's gators.
Yeah, and rumor has it if you want to get rid of something, Lake Jessup is the place
That's
to dump it.
a person's or anything,
Yes.
right?
Well, I was telling you, I had a buddy from Kansas, and we used to play golf in Tampa a lot.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I'm like, Matt, he's one of the bigger guys. You saw my groomsmen. They're all
Yes,
huge.
yeah.
He was the big guy with the beard, one of them. Anyway, he walks up to this water, and I go, Matt, just knock your ball that way. His name is Matt also. And he goes, no, I'm fine. And he gets up there. He's a former college baseball player, big dude. Gets up there to hit, and this 6-footer just bubbles up about 10 feet away. I've never seen a fat man run so fast in his life. And I'm like, dude, it's just a golf course gator. They're puppies.
They just sit there and bask in the sun.
They've got a good life.
He just wants your Doritos or a hot dog, and he'll leave you alone.
Yeah,
Don't feed him, by the way. Do not feed him.
Do not feed them. The LAPD says they have busted a ring of Lego thieves. They've arrested 2 people in connection with more than 2,800 stolen boxes of Lego toys found inside of a Long Beach home.
Wow.
71-year-old Richard Siegel was arrested when police searched his home. A second suspect was also arrested on charges of grand theft. Detectives say while they were searching the home, a number of potential buyers showed up in response to internet ads offering the Legos. Boxes of Lego toys were found stacked up with values ranging from $20 to more than $1,000 for some of the rarer sets.
That Falcon alone is $1,000. The
Is it
Millennium
really?
Falcon one's like around $800-900, right, guys? Isn't that one the big one? Yeah, it's like it's close to that.
I do know, interesting fact, just because they are so valuable, is that every set that they've made from the Millennium Falcon to anything is actually inside in Denmark or wherever Legos came from, inside one of these caves and like a vault. It's in the mountain. Every single set they have, so that future generations be able. That's serious. Yeah.
So if the world implodes, at least we have
We'll have
Legos to
We got something
rebuild.
to start over with. Right. So keep that in mind. It makes me sleep better at night knowing that.
Absolutely.
And the rest of them apparently were in that guy's garage. Right? The Florida man shocking social media by eating the private parts of a bull, all to boost his testosterone. The man first announced that he planned to eat raw chicken every day for 100 days, and he claims that he pulls it off without actually getting sick. Then he decided to follow it up by eating Rocky Mountain oysters. If you don't know what those are, you can Google it. It's bull testicles. It's unclear how long he plans to actually continue the food challenge. His followers wanted to measure his testosterone levels to see whether his experience actually a significant change as well. And I'm sure people do want to find out about that, but too much of one thing is not
Never good.
Never good at all. And then also, and I know he didn't die because of it. I know it was another illness, but
Salmonella?
Martin Spurlock, who ate hamburgers for a whole month,
that's
and he
right.
recently died.
Yeah.
But obviously nothing.
Not
I
to
guess
do
he had a
with the
cancer or
hamburgers,
whatever.
it was-
But you kind of wondered, did that help? Did that not help the situation? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
You
eating
almost
the same thing.
exasperate it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Who
it's
knows?
impossible. I don't know. I just don't think you should ever eat raw chicken.
No. Raw chicken or raw testicles fried
Back
or
with a
whatever.
shade of pink on it, I send it back.
You're right, yeah.
Here's what it is. You know, these cattle, they come here and they go, this is, we will give you ourselves for you, for your nourishment.
Yeah.
Can you leave some parts alone, though?
Can you
I mean, you
leave
know
the
that there's some
privates
bullshit saying,
alone?
can we leave some
Yeah.
things for, well, maybe we can use other ideas for it.
This is another perfect example of where social media, TikTok, for example, in the U.S. shows idiots on
there you go.
on parade. There's no question, because in China, where TikTok is based and owned, they do nothing but educational videos on TikTok, and yet this is what we get.
This is what we get, guys.
We get
eating
an
bull
idiot
testicles.
eating raw chicken and.
America. Woo!
New York City's hottest new hamburger is from a gas station. The tiny hamburger joint called Smacking Burger has opened inside of a working gas station. The owners said they serve 800 customers just on Saturdays alone.
Wow.
The 4-pump mobile on a corner has a tiny convenience mart attached, and Smacking Burger occupies a tight triangle within the wedge. The station owner, along with 2 employees, take orders, fry fries, and cook burgers on a sizzling flat-top grill. Menu standouts include the Big Smack for $8.99 with 2 patties, American cheese, shredded lettuce, and smack sauce on a Martin's sesame bun. And the Truff, also for $8.99, a single patty, grilled mushrooms, Swiss cheese, topped with truffle singed hot sauce.
Made right there at the gas station. You know, we usually say stay away from gas station food. That actually looks kind of
Doesn't look
delicious.
too bad, does it?
You know, and with the mobile trucks, the food trucks that have gone on, you've seen so many start off that way, and then eventually they're restaurants too.
Which is a great way for anybody who wants to open a restaurant to kind of dip their toe in the water.
Like a little incubator, if you will, to kind of see if this is what. And you're out talking to the people too. You're also able to see that sort of thing. What I appreciate about the food truck, first off, now they'll have like like an empty lot and then just a bunch of food trucks
Yes.
come. I think it's a great idea, first off. But also, too, the variety that you can now get. I've seen some with actual like pizza ovens inside, like a stone pizza oven, which you might say
crazy.
that is crazy. But those things are like, they weigh like a ton already.
Which explains why you see so many food trucks broken down on the side of the road. I can't tell you the number I've passed, and they're like, we were supposed to be somewhere, but they didn't make it.
As much as I rag on Miami, the best food truck lineup I've ever had was in Miami. Oh yeah, those are the best down there.
Interesting.
It's usually the best food too, because you get it right then and there. You can see
Fresh.
the kitchen. The kitchen comes to you, right? Hey, more Flash will be coming to you right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Flash.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. With sky-high prices and interest rates, it can be next to impossible to buy a home in this current market. Now that prices are starting to fall and more inventory is available, what's next for the housing market and the economy? Joining us now to talk all about it is Deb Berger from Modern Era Realty. Deb, welcome to Daily Flash.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on such an important topic.
Yeah, tell me what's driving the decline right now in home prices?
Well, I would say in the hot markets where everybody ran to after the pandemic or during the pandemic, now they're seeing an over evaluation, and so the markets are now going down, and it's just a correction. So not all markets are seeing that.
Just sort of a reset in some of the more popular markets. How do the prices right now compare to previous market trends?
Well, I would say that so in our area in the Midwest, we've actually we're pretty conservative, so we do a better job of the ups and downs, and we don't have that big high over evaluation and then have to worry about coming back down again. So in the hot markets, they went really high, and so you can't blame the whole thing on interest rates. It has a lot to do with the cost of living. And so right now it's a little different market. We're seeing that the cost of living is affecting everything more than the actual interest rates.
Sure. I mean, when you talk about supply and demand, that definitely affects certain places like for us here in Florida versus for, your area in the Midwest. How is the current situation affecting the affordability of buying a home?
Well, it's affecting it huge. So that cost of living is, with insurance, gas prices, fuel, the first-time home buyers are the ones that are suffering the most, and they just can't afford. You add the interest rates on there, but then when you add the cost of living, that really makes it impossible, which is sad because everybody should have a chance to own their own home, and that first-time home buyer is just so important.
Absolutely. And what measures can someone take to address this issue when it comes to trying to navigate, especially for a first-time home buyer?
Well, the first-time home buyers, I think we need some help from the government as far as, or even the lenders, as far as incentives, maybe some tax advantages for first-time home buyers, but also in order to, right now the home buyers are waiting, they're cautiously waiting, they're trying to navigate all of the expenses, and so they're just going into renting instead of buying, but also the rent prices are going up too. So they're just, it's very difficult right now for first-time home buyers, and so.
It's a
Go
bit of a
ahead.
catch-22 when you think about it. I mean, we went from interest rates that were 1 to 2% before 2020, and now we're looking at interest rates nearing 7 and 8%, which makes it next to impossible for anyone, even if you're not a first-time home buyer, to purchase a home. What regions or cities do you think are experiencing the most significant price drops right now?
It would be the hot markets like Austin, Florida, everybody that, those hot markets, they're seeing most of it. Also weather related because everybody went to warm climates.
Yes.
And so weather has a lot to do with it. Insurance cost is skyrocketing, and that's a real big issue right now. So with the insurance costs being so high, it's just that added on to higher property taxes, higher interest rates. It just, and then the cost of living, you adding all of that together, it just makes it impossible. But the different regions like I'm in Iowa, and we're seeing, we're very conservative, and we're not seeing the same things that you are in California or you are in Florida.
Deb, thank you so much. Great information that you were able to share with our viewers this morning about the home market right now across the U.S. For more information on Deb and the interview and purchasing a home right now in this market, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Mitch.
And then there's this. And this one, I'm telling you, sometimes I'm just like, what? All right, check this out. The world's largest airline pilot union wants airmen and women to stop using terms basically they say are offensive to women and LGBTQ individuals, calling their terms like cockpit as non-inclusive.
Okay.
The Airlines Pilot Association lists numerous terms and phrases to avoid, especially masculine generalizations. Now, the guide states, quote, inclusive language in the communications is essential to our union's solidarity and collective strength and is an important factor in maintaining flight safety. The purpose of this language guide is to offer examples of terms and phrases that promote inclusion and equality, equity, should I say. Well, ALPA, for example, suggested replacing that word cockpit with flight deck. The supposedly offensive term has been and may be used in a derogatory way to exclude women in the piloting profession. Now, actually, the term cockpit basically originated from the cockfighting in the 16th century England.
No kidding.
And them two dudes. Also, by the 18th century, it was referred to the area on British warships where surgeons actually treated the wounded. So, similarly, ALPA's guide called for the words man and men to be avoided. It offers suggestions for the word manpower to be people human power instead. So this is actually going to now make me get to my landing wherever I'm going on time, and we'll have no issues whatsoever if we can keep people out of the the flight deck from now on. Now I know we're at least going after the important things.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that. Isn't it making it almost like usually generally like if you went after it, you kind of gave it that name, like
Yes.
cockpit is, I never thought of it as a male. No, I'm not a man though. Would you ever
No.
have thought
Never
that?
in a million. I would like, as you mentioned, to get to my destination without the doors flying off. I don't
That's
care
all
what
we
you
need.
call it. I just want to get there safely.
All right, let's not even call what they call the bathroom on a ship. We'll talk about that more.
Welcome back. In this week's Boss Lady, we meet a woman who went to school for psychology, but she changed direction when a friend suggested she try culinary school. Now she's the head pastry chef at a popular LA restaurant. Here's Chef Daphne DeLone's For a Living story from Refinery 29.
In my history of being in this industry, I've worked in both bakeries and kitchens. I've gone back and forth. In bakeries, there are a lot of women, and so it's definitely more like balanced in that way. But in kitchens, there's definitely more of like men and men energy. Welcome back, Martha. So every day, me and Martha come in the mornings and get everything started. She'll get started on the bread, and I'll get started on pastry production. We'll help each other out when we need it. Also, we'll just like decide on what music we're gonna play for the day. She likes rock. No. And Johnny Cash. I like Beyonce. I feel weird saying like, I love Beyonce. Here at Connie and Ted's, I've been working for about 2 years. To get the job, I actually had to do a tasting with the owners, Chef Michael and Donato. In the tasting, I had to make a few different desserts to kind of showcase my talents and my ability to work in a kitchen. And the kitchen was brand new to me, so that was a bit of a challenge. I made a orange cheesecake with the kumquat topping. I made my butterscotch ice cream, which is still on the menu, so I adore that. A typical path and career for baking and pastry, and just in kitchens in general, will probably be like entry level, which you come in and you do production, probably earn about minimum wage, whatever that may be in respective areas. And then you just kind of like keep your head down, work hard, learn things, take direction well, and work well with others. And then you work yourself into a salary position. Starting out in this industry, I think you can expect to make somewhere around minimum wage. I've been in this field for over 10 years, so I am now at a salary position. Here at Connie and Ted's, I make about $80,000. in kitchen, you can do this job with or without culinary school. Of course, with some proper training, you do put yourself at a certain level to be taken a little bit more seriously. But honestly, you can enter into production, and if you work hard enough, you can definitely progress up to a higher position. I personally went to culinary school because I was just honing in on my own interests and seeing what I wanted to do. Everything doesn't happen overnight. You actually have to be patient, work on your craft, work on it at home. A lot of my knowledge is self-taught and practice. I'm also proud of my trajectory in that I get to run my own program here at Connie and Ted's. I decide what goes on the menu. So now I'm gonna show you how I make our sweet potato whoopie pie. All right, we are doing 255 grams of butter. Have to be very precise in baking or else your stuff will come out pretty messed up. For granulated sugar, I need 225 grams of sugar. It's nice to have two different types of sugar. It just puts a little bit more depth into the recipe. All right, now we're gonna just cream our butter and sugar until it's nice and fluffy. Now I'm gonna crack my eggs. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Vanilla is very expensive, so a gallon costs like 300 bucks. When my butter and sugar is ready, I'm gonna add in the eggs. Wait till they get nice and emulsified in. All right, at this point, we're gonna add in our pureed sweet potatoes. We do get these in fresh, so we just bake them off really nice and then puree them in a food processor. 400 grams, 3/4 of heavy cream. We have all of our spices here. Some cinnamon, some ginger, some nutmeg, salt, then a little leavening, baking powder, baking soda. And then once it's mostly starting to come together, you'll add in your wets. Hands get a little messy. It's all right. The batter is all done. Now we scoop. This is a portion scooper. We use it for ice cream, we use it for cookies, we use it for whoopie pies. Of course, these will expand in the oven, so you're gonna make sure you don't put them too close together. But mostly they should just be going a little bit wide and up. And I'll set my timer, 6 minutes. I would make this sweet potato spice cake a lot for my family and for family events. And for my aunt, she likes it a lot too. So basically, I took that recipe and evolved it into a whoopie pie recipe for the restaurant. A lot of times, if it's just only a few more seconds, I'll wait right here. Beautiful whoopie pies. Kind of look like cookies, but they're just a lot more soft. So for our whoopie pies, we have our cream cheese, buttercream here, which is our filling. Now that they've cooled down to room temperature, we can add our buttercream. So basically for service, how we would do, take a little Connie and Ted's paper, wrap it around, then on a plate just like that. And here's our spicy potato whoopie pie recipe. I feel especially proud of myself when I think about how far I've come, because actually being able to support myself full time with my job and actually doing something for a living that I love and I have a passion for. Oftentimes when I come out, they ask for the pastry chef. They're like, "Oh, that dessert was so good. Can I speak to the chef or can they come out?" And I come out and they're like, "Oh, wow." Especially if it's someone who does look like me, if it's a Black person, they're very proud. And they're just so surprised and so proud of me. I almost feel like I just made a new family member in that moment.
If you are a boss lady or you know one you think should be featured on our show, drop me a line at Andrea@dailyflashshow.com. And if you want to check out our other boss lady segments, just head to our website, dailyflashshow.com.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
If you're looking for good entertainment and news as well, one person really who went through decades of just that, of course, Barbara Walters passed away. Baba Wawa. Some of the biggest interviews of all time.
Oh, yeah.
She was the one behind it, and an incredible
Trailblazer
career.
for women.
Yes, 100%. She died back in 2022 at the age of 93. Well, there's going to be a documentary out. ABC News is actually they're going to be doing this documentary on her and kind of showing some never before seen video of her in action. They said this is going to dive into not of her professional life but her private life, which will be interesting. You know, she came out, she had that affair with that senator from Massachusetts, and I wonder if they'll kind of dive into that. But she was divorced twice as well. So I wonder how much, because of ABC News wanting to hold on to the integrity of news product or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to show that part of the private life too, to show that she's just like us.
Yeah, and I think she had a really interesting upbringing too with her family. So and then of course she had a daughter that she adopted because she wanted to have kids, which I don't think she could. So she adopted. So she had an incredible relationship.
Well, see, I remember that, but I forgot about it.
With her daughter. So I think there's so many layers to her that not a lot of people know.
She apparently had a secret fling with Richard Pryor too. People don't remember that. There was like a thing going on.
Rumblings of that.
Yeah.
And a super crush on Peter Jennings.
Which,
who didn't, right, during that time.
Working together. All right, so you check that out. ABC News has not mentioned when it's going to come out, but they are working on that, so we can see it pretty soon.
Conventional wisdom in the Sunshine State suggests that any time you see a body of water in Florida, there is probably a gator in it.
Gator.
And every year, officials at the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission take an alligator census of 100 bodies of water across the peninsula. The census is an estimate, and as you can imagine, counting alligators is no easy task. Imagine getting assigned that job.
You spray paint them?
I don't know, Matt. Lake Okeechobee, Florida's largest lake, also has the most gators in it, with more than 24,000 calling it home.
Wow.
FWC also estimates there are more than 1 million alligators living throughout Florida.
And if you think about it, they're the closest thing we really have to dinosaurs, too. I mean, there's so much. They're very interesting creatures altogether. And the whole adage of or basically say if one follows you, you're supposed to serpentine because they can't turn. That's not true.
That's not true. That's a myth.
That's
right?
a myth.
Yeah.
So when they'll tell you, if you move to Florida, you come to Florida, you see a gator, you want to run serpentine. The gator just look at you and like, I'm still going to get you.
That's the idiot newbie right there.
They'll know you.
Don't mess with their babies and don't mess with their food and they'll leave you alone. That's it. And don't feed them.
Have you guys been to Gatorland?
Oh, yeah.
Many times.
The jumperoo with the chicken?
It's terrific. And then there's the Gator Farm up in St. Augustine, Florida, which is fantastic. It's a combination of gators and crocs. But they will tell you that alligators have some of the most amazing blood because they rarely get sick. And you think of all the crap they eat, where they live. I mean, they're living in like the boggiest, grossest areas known to man. And also, if they lose a limb or they lose a part of their body, they can regenerate it to some degree.
I didn't realize
which
that.
is fascinating.
I guess kind of like lizards. They'll cut off their tail if they get scared. It'll grow
They've
back.
got Jolene at Gatorland, where it's got the top part of her jaw is cut off and still survived for like 4 or 5 months on like slugs and stuff.
So they're testing their blood to see what's in it because they fight off diseases. They don't get cancer. They don't, suffer from a number of diseases that normal humans do. So what is it in their blood that makes them super powerful?
Which goes along, that is interesting because, like you said, they're very close to dinosaurs if you think about it. I don't feel bad. Maybe I might be around because I have really short arms, short legs.
Yeah, so you're kind of
you and Matthew McConaughey.
I have to get all kinds of water or lotion on me because my skin's so scaly as well. Probably the most scared I've ever done in my life professionally. I was at Gatorland and I was standing there, I was doing a stand-up. That's when you go, hey, we're here at Gatorland, yada, yada. And they start off real close and then we pull out, my hand to the heavens, I'm standing over a 12-foot gator and then they slowly pull out and I'm serious, I'm looking around, there's about 40 gators literally around me. They're like, they're not gonna do anything, they've been fed.
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, all I got to do is trip and fall down, and then one's that,
There's always
it's so scary.
Chance.
There's
always
back
a
in your
chance,
mind.
yeah.
And at night is when you have to worry about gators.
Yeah.
That's when they come out. Usually during the day, they're just like, they're chill.
Sun up, sundown, also 2 key times.
Go to our Facebook page. I'm going to upload a video of it. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson. Experts from the American Clean Power Association join us now. Let us know how offshore wind power is actually helping build a stronger U.S. economy. Here's more.
Offshore wind energy is the next great American energy source. We have a generational opportunity with offshore wind to create jobs, to strengthen our economy, to improve our environment and clean up our air. We have an opportunity to strengthen our national security and our energy security. All of this could come from increasing the use of offshore wind, a clean, affordable, reliable, abundant resource that we have right here in the U.S. It's ready to go, and we see a lot of momentum in 2024 for clean energy. For more information, go to cleanpower.org. You can find out more about offshore wind. You can also read about onshore wind, solar, battery storage, the full spectrum of clean energy resources. It's an exciting time for our industry, and we hope you follow us at cleanpower.org.
We are talking summer hair trends today. Here's beauty and lifestyle expert Joanne Butler with more. Hi, Joanne.
Thanks for having me. Well, it's all about bouncy, full, wavy hair this summer. Seeing lots of bobs, lots of bangs, and blondes too, of course, the color of the season. But no matter the look, the key to great hair is really a healthy scalp and just creating the ultimate foundation for your hair routine. And this is going to do just that. It's OGX. They've reintroduced a few of their best-selling shampoo and conditioner duos, the iconic bottles and scents you know and love, like the famous thick and full biotin and collagen right here. But now they've made it even better with proprietary LipoPro Shield technology that just protects hair from future damage and prevents excessive loss of proteins and lipids, which are the key building blocks for strong, smooth, and resilient hair. The duo loaded with vitamin B7, biotin, collagen, wheat protein that just enhances volume and texture for 72 plus hours actually, ideal for flat to medium volume hair. And like all OGX formulas, no sulfated surfactants, parabens, phthalates, microplastics, or dyes, just $10 each at Target, Amazon, Walmart, and mass retailers. Next up, if you're going for that wavy or curly hair, this is Maui Moisture. This brand too knows that healthy looking curls start at the scalp, so they launched this new scalp care collection designed to be used in 3 steps. First, the clarifying shampoo. This is going to gently remove scalp buildup, locks in 25 times more moisture every single time you use it. Just leaves your hair really refreshed and restored. Then the rejuvenating conditioner. This is going to soothe your scalp, immediately soften curls, and locks in moisture for 50 times softer hair. Then you finish off the routine massaging the serum in root to end before you style, 48 hours of frizz control and 2 times stronger curls, even prevents up to 90% less curl breakage on your brush. The whole collection is made with 100% aloe vera, apple cider vinegar, rosemary oil, vitamin Z, and Pro B5, but just $10.25 each at Ulta Beauty Stores and Ulta.com, so just a steal. And there you have it, my 2 must-haves for perfect summer do's.
Need to unwind after a busy day? We've got the perfect solution to your sleepless nights, thanks to Disney. Disney Sleep offers peaceful renditions of your favorite classic Disney songs to fall asleep to, and is available wherever you stream music. Just say, "Alexa, play Disney Sleep" to your Amazon-connected device. For the perfect deep sleep, visit DisneySleepSweepstakes.com and enter to win the grand prize, an award-winning NOLA Evolution Luxury Hybrid Mattress. This mattress offers 3 firmness level options, cooling comfort, and pressure relief for sensitive joints. Learn more at NOLAmattress.com. The prizes don't stop there. The grand prize winner also gets a Whim Beside companion lighted speaker with Alexa to stream the Disney Sleep playlist. If you fall short of the grand prize, don't fret. You can still win one of 5 $25 Amazon gift cards. Head over to dailyflashshow.com and click on the sweepstakes button for your chance to win.
Well, it's the home to the city of brotherly love, and here's why it's the perfect time to visit Pennsylvania.
In the know, for those looking for a summer road trip or a fall weekend, Pennsylvania has something for everyone.
It's got big city energy, outdoor adventure, and small town charm, all within a 1-hour drive. Pennsylvania is one of the rare places where you can enjoy hiking on a remote trail in the morning, then grab a coffee and walk the street of a charming cobblestone town, head into the city for a James Beard award-winning meal, and then catch a show or concert after dinner.
To learn more, visit pa.com/getaway.
This NFL season, American adults are expected to legally wager a record amount of games. That's according to the American Gaming Association. September also kicks off Responsible Gaming Education Month to spotlight and strengthen responsible gaming education. Bill Miller of the American Gaming Association has more.
HaveAGamePlan.org is our PSA campaign that we launched really when sports betting started to move from Nevada to 38 states and the District of Columbia. We thought it was important to educate not just the betting public, but make sure that our other business partners in the sports betting ecosystem understood there's a collective responsibility here. So we have over 30 partners that include teams, arenas, stadiums, broadcasters, who are all committed to make sure that the betting public understands what Have a Game Plan means. And our website is haveagameplan.org. But importantly, you can both enjoy the games, make sure that the activity is fun, and make sure that that we're doing things in a way that creates a sustainable and important addition to the sports fans' experience.
Thanks, Bill. We'll have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Wall Street wants boomers to work longer hours, but hiring or keeping someone in their 60s or 70s isn't typical for most employers. Now it's become a retirement catch-22, affecting millions of Americans. Joining us now to talk all about it is Ann Lowe. She's with Business Insider. Ann, welcome to Daily Flash.
Good morning.
So let's
Nice
talk
to
about
be
this
here.
latest retirement crisis. What's happening here?
Well, the biggest issue is that because people are living so much longer, pension plans and Social Security are really feeling a lot of financial pressure. And there's a big question about whether or not people are going to be able to afford to have a good retirement, especially as they get older and need more health care. And the issue, though, is that if you ask people to work longer, someone has to be willing to hire them to work longer.
How does the age discrimination part of it impact savings and investment when you're looking at the bigger picture?
Well, first of all, like the longer you work, the more money you're able to save, the more you're able to pay into Social Security, and also the less pressure you'll put on Social Security because you'll be collecting payments when you're older. And it's the same for defined benefit pensions, which fewer people have, but some people still do. And again, like if you can delay collecting payment, then there's less pressure on the pension plan. But for that to work, people have to be able to have jobs that to retire from later. And what we're finding is that there are some jobs, of course, that people really can't do long term. A lot of types of physical labor are really exhausting and wear people out physically. But there are a lot of other jobs that people would be happy to do for a longer period of time, but employers have not been interested in hiring older workers. Age discrimination is a real factor. Economists who've researched it have seen it happen over and over again, but it's also a form of discrimination that has been easier for a lot of employers to hide or to get away with engaging in.
Yeah, and we see this across the board with almost every kind of job. You're seeing a lot of, older employees. And when I say older, I could be talking about anyone from 40 to 60, who's not yet in that retirement mode. And they're being replaced by people who are, 20 to 25, maybe 30. What can these employers do to support an older workforce?
I mean, it's really interesting because at the same time, we have record low unemployment, and a lot of employers are trying to find more workers or retain the workers that they have. So there should be room to keep people in the workforce longer as they're older and bring in more older workers. Some of the cultural things that employers seem to resent about older workers, one is that they often don't look young and energetic. And in a lot of jobs, a lot of retail jobs, a lot of sales jobs, but even a lot of corporate jobs, people like the idea of having young and energetic people around them, or they think that their clients prefer to see younger people. There's also some evidence that older workers are maybe less patient or less malleable. Maybe because they've heard all of the corporate buzzwords before, because they've been through 6 or 7 or 8 restructurings, and so they're a little more cynical. But I think a lot of it is simply a feeling that if people are older, they shouldn't be working. whether or not they want to.
Yeah, some great insight, Ann. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, and we could talk so much more about this when it comes to when you can retire and how much you can save for it. We'd love to have you back on again. For more information on Ann and this particular topic, businessinsider.com is your go-to. And you can also head to our website for more information on the Retirement Catch-22. Our website, dailyflashshow.com. Stay with us. We're back right after this. Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of
Oh,
Hollywood.
hold on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
So, Matty of Berkshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Ooh, dog and cat, it's
Hey, you should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the music.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's take a look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous. We're going to dive into some celebrity real estate.
Okay, let's get started with Campbell Brown, a former network TV news anchor. She and her husband have put their upstate New York home on the market for $12 million. The home is part of a gated community with fewer than 300 neighbors, very exclusive. The area offers a quiet space just 2 hours outside of New York City. It also features an 18-hole golf course and a world-class equestrian center. Wow. The sprawling 5,100 square foot mansion includes 5 bedrooms, 7 baths. It also includes an extra 1,800 square feet of terrace space and a covered porch with lake views.
That is beautiful. Hold on to your cowboy hats. A working Nevada cattle ranch where John Wayne once filmed a Western movie. It's up for grabs. Asking price, a mere $15 million. Ooh. It's a 1,200-acre property. It's known as Jack's Valley Ranch. It was also the longtime home for former casino mogul who bought the land back in 1969, just outside of Reno, and it's nestled at the foot of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Ranch dates all the way back to 1860. Wow. The property includes 4 houses, and the main house has a 5,400 square foot area of living space with 3 bedrooms and even a study. The barn outside, almost as old as Nevada itself. No good story comes complete without a spooky twist. The ranch's old graveyard was the go-to spot for double dare punishments. And for those of you looking to live out your own Western dreams, the ranch offers 400 parcels and 1,100 acres under conservation.
Wow. All right.
$15 million.
Pilgrim.
All right, Pilgrim.
Actress Christina Ricci has listed her Los Angeles home for sale. Ricci put her redesigned Woodland Hills home on the market for more than $2 million. The mid-century home includes 4 bedrooms with close to 3,000 square feet on 2 floors. There's a formal living room with designer wallpaper, and each bathroom features a unique tile design. The kitchen comes complete with custom cabinetry and high-end appliances. There are new hardwood floors throughout, and smart tech has also been integrated. Outside, there is a pool complete with a shallow area known as a Baja Shelf. The renovation project was a joint effort between Ricci and her now ex-husband, and I think this is the house that was featured on Jeff Lewis's remodel show that's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like to check that out. Those little Baja Shelf things, those are really
nice,
good. Yeah,
aren't they?
my in-laws have one in theirs because you're not really in the pool, your feet are.
But you feel like
you feel like you're in the pool. Exactly. Thank y'all for joining us today. Relax in the pool yourself.
Yeah.
We'll see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.
Be good, everybody.